Hi everybody, this is Suzanne Hiron, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. This week's card is this lovely little ladybug. I just adore these little guys. So let's get started. All right, let's get started with this pretty card. So first you'll need a Whisper White thick cardstock, and this one is cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and it's scored at 4.25. So I just stamped the little ladybug on the inside and colored it so you wouldn't have to watch me color for 5 minutes. And I'm just going to stamp my happy birthday greeting on the right side here, because as you might have noticed, this little flower is going to pop into the card and stay there. So that's what makes this card so special. So that's done. What I'm going to do now in my Poppy Parade layer is I'm going to punch out this little scallop here, and I will be using this as a layer so nobody will ever know that there's something punched out from here, and so it saves you a bit of paper. All right, so get my snail, get this layer down. Next layer is the black, and this time I decided to emboss it with the new stone embossing folder that is in the Celebration catalog. So this is the look of it. I really like it. I think it's really cool. So you got to make sure that you don't apply your snail where you're going to punch out that slit. So now we have our layers on the card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this classic label and I'm going to push it all the way in and line up the punch with the layer of black cardstock. And now I'm going to punch it out. It has to punch all 3 layers. In this instance, it got a bit of the punched out area, and I'm going to slide it again as far as it goes and line it up with the other part of the other side of the black cardstock and punch it again. So now I have my slit like this, and that's where my flower is going to pop out. So I have colored the flowers and the little ladybug, so you don't have to watch me do that. Now to do the mechanism of the flower that's going to pop out. So what we need to do is just score it a little bit. So I'm going to use the stylus of my Take Your Pick tool and a ruler, and I'm just going to slightly score it to make sure that it will fit in the slit. So if it's folded, this end and this end have to have room to move through the slit. And then I'm going to line up my ruler here and just gently score it. So now that it's folded, I'm sure it'll come through. All right, next step is to have some of these little punched out circles. So you need the circles to be folded in half. So instead of fussing with a punched out circle, what I did is I scored some white paper And on my punches, I put a line to the center of the punch so I can line up these two little ticks with the white cardstock. And I need 2 of those. So just tear this off so I can slide my punch back in. And you see I line it up with these 2 black marks and punch. So that's easy. Then I'm going to need a 3rd circle, and I'll show you why in a minute. So we're done with that. Now we fold these 2, and I'm going to use some of my Hiron tape because it's stronger. And I'm going to put these on my flower. So I need it to stay securely on the bottom layer of the card, because when the person opens it, you don't want the flower to pop out. You want it to pop out but stay solidly on the card base. So I'm just going to remove this and kind of line it up so it doesn't show. Yeah, I think this is good. Now do this one. So you see it doesn't really show on the back. And then these are going to be secured to the inside of the card. And that's where the other circle comes in. Now I didn't line mine up quite as nicely as I did the first time, but doesn't matter, it'll work. So you fit it in this way, nice and flat. And now you'll have some Hiron tape on this one here. And you make sure this is where you want your flower, and then you will fold the back of your card on top. So now your flower is nicely secured right here. So there you go. So what's left to do now is a little dimensional to hold this little missy. Okay, where's the other part of my tiki pick? Here it is. Just lift those off. They tend to go everywhere, so this helps. And I'm gonna put right here, and I gotta make sure that she doesn't cover the slit to let the flower go through. That's good. Now we're going to put the sentiment on. I need a layer of black. So what I've done, sorry for my hand reaching there. So this is 1 3/4. So my black layer is 1 1/2 that I'm going to punch out here. Just put some snail on that. There's my second layer. And my sentiment is going to go on a 3rd layer of, that's a little small. So with my Memento ink, make sure. There we go, thinking of you. And for this one, I'm going to use the 1 1/4 inch circle so that I have the black showing through a little bit. And put some snail on here. Center it. A little back rub so it sticks. And some more dimensionals. To make it pop a little bit on the card. Here we go. There you have it. All ready for your next birthday person. Don't you love them? So this little stamp set called Little Ladybug is not available for purchase. It is only available when you host a Stampin' Up! Party that reaches a certain level of sales. However, if you purchased from my online store for an amount of $60, you get a celebrations item for free, and I will also put your name into a draw for the Little Ladybug stamp set. So just click on my online store to get your supplies, and you'll go into the draw for the Little Ladybug. And the draw will happen on March 31st, which is the end of celebration. So I hope you enjoyed this card. See you next time.